Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Arabic خطوات. In this video, we're going to learn how we can use different writing tools to write Arabic, especially for novice learners. This is the beginning school year here in the US, and many parents end up buying a lots of resources and extra school supplies. I myself have done the exact same thing, but I just got about 3 sets of index cards that I need. I'm sure some of you are familiar with this, but I'm not doing any promotion for this company. But these are unruled index cards, and I have ruled index cards. And the ruled index cards, they come with these lines. The unruled ones, they come quite as, I'll open this one with you. They just come like this, very plain, with no lines. And I'll show you which ones should be used in the novice level and why is it important to just make sure you know what tools are you using so you don't get quite frustrated with your writing or the shape of the Arabic letters and you start asking yourselves, why doesn't it look like the way my teacher is writing or the way it looks on the textbook? Number 1 rule I always remind my students is do not worry about the fonts that you have on the textbooks that you are using, even children's textbooks. I mean, here, as you can see, they're using this different font. Let me zoom in so you can see it over here. You don't have to write the letters as if you have a square over here or thick lines. Also, the dots are not square or diamond looking, so you just have to follow the shape of the letter but the writing of the tool you're using. And we'll begin by starting at how you can use your notebook. You have any type of notebook. I have selected 2 types. This one is a reversible quad-ruled notebook. The reversible quad-ruled notebooks they all come with those tiny squares. This like 5, you can see the size in here, 5 inches, and over here you have to flip your notebooks as if you're writing or looking at your English notes upside down. So the holes of the notebook or the side, the spiral of the notebook has to be on the right hand side. You can also use composition book, and it comes with wide lines. Over here they're like shorter, smaller lines, but these are wide lines, composition books. And of course, these index cards that are ruled, they have, if we compare them with the composition, these are narrower, these are wider, as you can see. How are we gonna write Arabic? You have seen in those 5 steps, or mostly actually 3 steps when you write the Arabic letters on Arabic خطوات, but I'm going to show you using all these resources. I will write one word and I can show you how it looks when I write with an ink pen, when I write with a pencil, when I write with different tools. And the thickness of the paper won't matter, and the thickness of the point of the pen also won't matter. What matters is the way you move your hand and the shape of the letter. So here, I'll go with alif, and I usually write between these 2 lines in wide ruled composition books. That way I can measure my handwriting and I know exactly where I'm placing my pen. And I'm going like this. Alif and ba. See, I'm tilting my hand and I'm going alif and ba. Some students, what they do when they look at ba, they write it from left to right. They would go like this. It comes fine, but you confuse yourself when you read Arabic. Make sure you're always going this way from right to left, and you're going ba, ba. So I'm using a Sharpie now, which is ultra fine point over here. And I'm going to write the exact same thing. You see, alif and ba. I will use now a pencil. I will write alif and ba. I'm using any tool I have, but it has to be quite tilted, like my handwriting has to be tilted, and I have to follow right to left strategy. Don't confuse yourself by writing from left to right, because you need to make sure that the letters are going this way. There are few letters like Jim, you have to start from left, but you go towards the right. Then you go again to the left, like Jim. So you start from the left, you go towards the right, and that shows you the direction of the letter, which is still right to left. And I'm using my pencil. My favorite tool actually, of course, is a pencil, but I like to use my ink pen, and the one I have here is, I'll show you the sizing. I've got these calligraphy pens, but one I'm using, let me see the size. There you go. Over here. Okay. So I got these calligraphy pens, but they come in different size. I will open so you can see the tip. Sorry. And I will draw lines with each one of them. You can see what your Arabic would look like if you use a thicker point. So if I'm writing with this one, I'll zoom in so you can see. Okay. Let's see. These are the tips of the pens. These are used for calligraphy. This one, let me read. It's ink water. The size is very small. So, but look at the shape. This is not good for writing. This is more for drawing. Oh, I didn't write right there. Okay, I'll start again. So here, you see how I'm writing? It doesn't come right. You can do that if you are in the upper levels and you want to do some sort of writing. You can draw with this. That's fine. But it is not the right size. It's a brush, so you won't need that one. There's another type of brush over here. This one is thicker. You can write with this. It's like a marker. And I suggest that you write with this type of pen on index cards. So I'm going to write on this one over here, and I want to write العربية. You can do that, but it's still not steady for me. For beginners, I would suggest a different size, but now you can see here I'm going alif and ba. It's also a brush. So I'm going alif and ba. See how thick that is? Okay. This one over here, as you can see, this size is medium. And when you do, it also feels like a marker. You can write with this type of pen, but I suggest on index card as well. On an index card, and I want to write like this, العربية. And I can write using markers on index cards. But you see that the sizing of the lines is not the same. So it goes like thin and it goes thick over here because you're tilting your writing. You see that? This is thin, this is thick. If you're fine with this, you can do it, but your hand has to be in the same position. tilted. When you move it to the left, it becomes thick. So you don't have to worry about this. You go up thin and then it becomes thick. And you keep going. العربية. Start writing the word العربية because it gives you all of these sizes of the letters. So here you have the alif has to be here. The ayn has to be here. The ra, the ba, they have to be in the same level. And then of course all the other letters that take the shape of ra have to be in this position or in this shape.